Hello my lovely friends, how are you all and how did you get on with the last tutorial? This week I'm going to show you how to create a beautiful text mask effect in Canva. It may seem complicated, but actually it's one of those things that are really easy when you know how, and I'm going to show you how in this tutorial. Being able to create an effect like this is really going to snag attention online and set you apart from your competitors. If, say, you want to create the front cover of an ebook, create a professional looking Facebook page cover photo, or if you're a coach and you want to create some really professional and stunning looking promotional images for an online course. In tricky times like this, you really need to be able to set yourself apart from your competitors, and creating professional looking branded content like this will definitely set you apart. Over the Christmas period last year, I was just doing some doodling in Canva and I was creating these text effects just to see what sort of feedback I would get. And I was amazed by a ton of comments I got from everybody when I shared them on Twitter. All you need for this tutorial is a free Canva account and perhaps some branded photographs. So if you're ready, let's get started. Right, so here we are once again at the Canva homepage. Now, since I want to create an ebook cover, I'm going to search on A4 document. And I'm going to start off with a blank template. You can use whichever template you want, but since I'm going to be doing an ebook cover, I'm going to use this one. Next, if you have your own branded photos from a photo shoot, select the best photo for this project and upload it to Canva. So as you probably already know, just go to the sidebar, click Uploads, and then select the turquoise button here, and you can find your own files from Google Drive, from Dropbox, or your own device. If you don't have your own brand photos, don't worry. You can search from the selection of photos from Canva. So go over to the left-hand side, click on Photos, and use the search tool here. So for instance, you want to search on yoga. Type yoga into the search box and then click Return, and you can choose from the selection of photos here. If you have a free Canva account, you may need to filter the results by clicking on the Filter tool here and selecting Free and Apply Filters, and then all the photographs that are returned are all free to use. If you can't find anything that suits your project amongst these photographs, you can also try my next go-to photo resource, and that is Unsplash. So I've already uploaded my photograph to Canva, and I'm going to click on it once to bring it up onto my template. Now, my first piece of advice is you'll want to use a photo that matches the layout of your template. So I'm using a vertical photograph here, which fits beautifully onto my A4 template. I'm just going to use the corner buttons to fit it exactly to the template. Recenter it slightly. Also bear in mind that you want to use something which will make an impact, but try and keep it simple and uncluttered. Otherwise it's going to look a little bit messy. So once you've uploaded your photograph to your template, you're going to start adding the lettering. So go to the sidebar and click Elements. Scroll right down until you find Frames, and you'll find the letter frames towards the bottom. And all you need to do to bring one of the letter frames onto your template is click on it once. Now I'm just going to resize this very roughly and move it out of place, and I'm going to upload all the rest of the letters that I need, and I'm going to spell the word relax. Okay, brilliant. Now once I've done that, I'm going to make sure that all the letters are the same height. It doesn't matter so much about the width, because obviously the width of a letter A is going to be very different from the width of a letter I. So what we need to do is to make sure that all the letters are the same height. And I'm just going to zoom in slightly just so that I can get this really accurate. Okay, so now I don't know if you can see in the bottom right hand corner of that letter R, there's a small black box and it says W4 H 5.3. Now the W is the width and the H is the height of the letter. Now that's the thing that we need to focus on. I'm just going to change the height so that it's a nice round number. It's 5, okay? Now I'm going to make sure that all the other letters are the same height. And I'm going to use these purple guidelines to help me. You can see possibly that there's a dotted purple line underneath the letter R and E, and that's indicating to me that the bottom of the letter E is exactly the same level as the letter R. So I'm going to use those purple dotted lines as a guide. Brilliant, so all the letters are exactly the same height. Now I'm going to rearrange them on my page. Now the letters don't have to be horizontal, you can arrange them vertically as well. Just play around a bit and get creative. Perfect. Now you might be able to see there's a thin purple line which acts like a margin, and I've used that to make sure that all the letters are aligned with that margin. Now I think I'm just going to move all the letters in slightly. Brilliant. And now comes the fun part. To add the actual text mask, what you're going to do is you're going to go back to the photograph that you uploaded and you're going to drag it into each of the letter frames. So let me just show you what I mean. Select the photograph, hold the cursor down and drag it slowly so that it pops into the frame. Don't worry if you don't get this right first off. It takes just a little bit of practice. But my advice is just to do it slowly to start with. And what you're going to do is you're going to drag the photograph into each of the letter frames. Okay, now I've locked this photograph in place on my template by clicking on the lock icon, and I do that just in case I move it around when I'm editing. The next step is to double click the first letter frame and you'll see that the area surrounding the template goes slightly grey. Now what you're going to do is a little bit tricky and it may take time to perfect, but the more you do it, the better you'll get at it. So you want to grab one of these corner buttons with your cursor and you'll see that the cursor has a double-ended arrow. Hold the cursor down and you're going to drag the photo to enlarge it. Now this is the tricky part. What you need to do is make sure that this photograph is exactly lined up with the photograph underneath. You'll probably want to zoom in to do this, just so that you can see whether you're getting this spot on. And I think I have got that absolutely perfect. Let me just show you once more. I'm going to zoom out. I'm going to double click the letter frame. I've got a slightly greyed out background here. I'm going to hover my cursor over one of the corner buttons, hold my cursor down, and I'm going to drag the corner to enlarge the photograph. Next, I'm going to zoom in slightly so that I can get really precise with this repositioning. And I'm going to reposition the photograph so that it sits exactly over the original. And you'll know exactly when you get this right because there won't be any double edges anywhere. Okay, I think that's spot on. I'll do that one more time. Double click, hold your cursor down on one of the corner buttons and increase the photo size. I'm going to zoom in and reposition the photograph over the original. Now, I haven't done that so well because you can see there's a double edge, so I'm just going to resize that photograph slightly. That's much better. Just click away, and that's perfect. Let me just finish off the rest now. When you've finished, the letter frames should blend perfectly into the original photo, so you shouldn't be able to see where they are. If you can see where they are, then it means you've got the alignment slightly wrong, so you may have to go back in and make some adjustments. I'm going to unlock my original photograph now because I need to edit it. Now you can do one of two things. You can select the background photograph, click on Adjust, and make the background photograph darker. And you can see now the letter frames are starting to emerge from the background. So you can either make the background photograph darker or you can make it lighter. And again, you can see the letter frames starting to pop out from the background. So I'm going to make my original photograph lighter. I'm just going to change the contrast slightly. And again, I'm going to lock the background photograph just in case I move it when I'm editing. Now you're going to edit the photograph within the letter frame. So you need to click on it once, go to the Adjust tab, click on it. And if you made your original photograph lighter, you're going to make the photograph within the letter frame darker so that it contrasts more. And I'm going to set the brightness at -35. And I just find it easier to type in. And what I'm also going to do is I'm going to add a little bit of tinted colour. I'm going to add a bit of mauve to complement this beautiful colour here. And then at the bottom, I'm going to grab this filter code, copy it. I'm going to click away from the R and I'm going to click into the E. I'm going to do exactly the same thing, click on Adjust. And then instead of fiddling around with all these different variations, I'm just going to paste the filter code and there you'll see it has exactly the same effect. I'm going to do the same with all the other letters. And there you have a text mask. And now all you need to do to finish it off is perhaps add your logo, a little bit of text, and you're all done. And once you're done, you can either download your beautiful design using the Canva download tool. So you can either download it as a PDF to print or a PNG file. Alternatively, you could make your design look even more polished and professional by adding it to a mock-up template in Smart Mockups. And I showed you exactly how to do this in my previous tutorial. And that is all there is to creating text mask effects in Canva. I hope you enjoyed watching this week. If you did, don't forget to give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel and turn the little bell notification on. If you have any questions or comments, leave them in the comment section below. Do enjoy the rest of your week and I will see you next time.